Hi, and welcome to the Early Retirement Roadmap Podcast, the show where I help you prepare for and thrive in early retirement. The average person gets roughly 4,000 weeks in a lifetime. If you're over 40, you've probably used half of them already. That's not meant to scare you, it's just perspective. The simple fact is, a lot of people are working longer than they need to without realizing it. Today, I'm going to share 7 clear signs you might be ready to retire earlier than you think, plus one overlooked option that lets you test drive retirement before taking the leap. Before we dig in, first, a mindset shift. Most of us treat retirement like a piggy bank. More is always better, right? But think of retirement as a scale. Money on one side, lifestyle on the other. Your job isn't to max out one side, it's to balance both so your best years don't get traded away for just a little more. If you live to 80, you get about 4,000 weeks. The goal is to use them well. All right, let's get into it. The first sign is the numbers say yes, but fear says not yet. You've hit your retirement savings milestone, so logically, there is no problem if you retire. Yet, something grips you when you imagine stopping the paycheck. That not yet is usually fear, not math. 3 common fears show up over and over, and believe me, these are all things I experienced myself. First, there is the spending shift. You've trained your brain for decades to save equals safety. Flipping to spend equals succeed feels just plain wrong, even when the plan supports it and you know you can with the math. Loss aversion makes every withdrawal feel like a mistake, even if it's part of a sustainable strategy. Second, it's losing the steady paycheck. A salary arrives every 2 weeks no matter what the market does. Portfolio income feels uncertain, even when you've built cash buffers and diversified sources. Your nervous system prefers a predictable deposit over a perfectly sound withdrawal plan. Third, there's the fear of losing your identity and purpose. Work has given you rhythm, status, and social ties. Without it, the question isn't just, can I afford it? It's who am I at 9 a.m. on Tuesday? That identity gap keeps many people working long past readiness. All of these fears are things that need to be worked through, and honestly, most of these just took me time to get through them and making the mental shifts. A big help with the loss of identity, and you've probably heard this before, and you've definitely heard it from me if you've been listening to my podcast or watching my YouTube videos, is you need to retire to something. That will help tremendously as it did me. Know what you're going to do with your retirement time and set goals for what you want to accomplish. I went from a healthcare IT analyst to a person that is sharing their financial knowledge to others, really for no monetary reason because I earn pennies on my podcast and YouTube videos, but I'm really doing it to help others and to share what I've learned. And what makes it all worthwhile is when I hear from someone, even just one person, that what I've shared helped them. Then regarding the loss of the paycheck, some people will recreate that by withdrawing from their savings and investments, so it mimics a regular paycheck. And this can also help with the spending shift too, as by giving yourself a regular paycheck based upon what you've determined is your safe withdrawal rate, you're automatically setting guardrails for your spending, which can help you feel more comfortable. Anyway, if you realize these fears are what may be holding you back, well, just know that's very normal. But the fix isn't to keep postponing retirement and losing out on your most healthiest years that you will have in retirement. It's building a system that calms the brain you're bringing into retirement and telling it to, well, just chill a bit. All right, sign number 2 is you're not 59 and a half, but your money is accessible. Why 59 and a half? It's because the IRS generally adds a 10% early withdrawal penalty if you take money from most tax-deferred retirement accounts, your IRA and 401k and 403bs before age 59 and a half. But with the right account mix, you can build penalty-free cash flow before age 59 and a half, allowing you to retire before them. For example, taxable brokerage accounts have no age restrictions and you can pull from them at any time. Then there's the rule of 55. Leave your employer at 55 or later, and withdrawals from that 401k or 403b avoid the 10% penalty. Roth IRA contributions, not the earnings though, are always available tax and penalty free. And IRS Rule 72T SEPPs, that is substantially equal periodic payments, are an option. This is a structured IRA withdrawal program that waives the 10% penalty if you take fixed IRS calculated payments for at least 5 years or until 59 and a half, whichever is longer, and you must stick to the schedule. 72T can apply to IRAs, and if you've separated from your employer and the plan allows, to 401k and 403b accounts. But most SEPPs are implemented from IRAs you control. Keep in mind, though, that this strategy is complex and definitely not for everyone. Listen to my podcast titled How to Tap Your IRA or 401k Early, No IRS Penalty, for the full walkthrough and explore if it's an option for you. Sign number 3 is you live below your means, and your mortgage is gone or nearly gone. Your mortgage is usually your biggest line item expense, and when it disappears, the nest egg required to sustain you drops dramatically. A leaner lifestyle plus no mortgage is another great sign retirement may be at your doorstep. Sign number 4 is your income isn't just a paycheck anymore. If you have multiple diversified income streams, think small rental cash flow, part-time consulting, a future pension, or dividends and interest, all of these reduce pressure on your portfolio and is a good indicator that retirement may be on the near horizon for you. Sign number 5 is you've stress tested your plan, not just calculated it. If you've run Monte Carlo simulations and explored what-if scenarios, for example, a bear market in your first 3 years of retirement, higher inflation and healthcare costs, taking Social Security earlier versus delaying, if you've done all that and your stress tests are coming out rosy, even with conservative assumptions, that alone builds the confidence required to flip from saving to spending and flipping the switch to retire. And honestly, the very fact that you're running these scenarios is a strong sign you're gearing up to retire. This is the way it was for me, and it was running what-if scenarios and coming out rosy and even the worst case scenarios that gave me the confidence and courage to pull the retirement cord. When I did this, I used Bolden retirement planning software, and you can try it for free and do a Monte Carlo simulation. But to really stress test your plan and run multiple what-if scenarios, you'll want the paid version. I'll have a link to it in the description for you to check out. Sign number 6 is your health, energy, and bucket list are calling, and loudly. Many retirees wish they'd spent more time enjoying life rather than working longer. Those vibrant 55 to 65 years, they don't come back. If you've got a clear picture of what you're retiring to, travel, family, projects, volunteering, you've checked a box money can't replace. And sign number 7, you keep researching early retirement podcasts like this one. If you're here, you're curious. That curiosity is a signal. Often people are technically free, but waiting for permission that never arrives. Lastly, keep in mind that retirement isn't all or nothing. See if you can ease yourself into it. For example, would your job allow you to work part-time, or could you retire from your current employer, but use those skills to consult a few hours a month or take a 6-month sabbatical while keeping some income and benefits? In practice, this shrinks portfolio withdrawals, buys time for healthcare bridging, and lets you test your new identity outside of work. Retirees who phase in often report smoother transitions and higher satisfaction because they designed their retirement instead of jumping in cold turkey. Well, that's all for today. If this helped, be sure to write a review, share it, and so forth. And make sure you listen weekly. And which sign or signs do you already have locked in? And which one are you working on next? Or have you already made the decision to pull that retirement cord? And before you go, I have a couple of freebies available for you to download. First, make sure to download my free 12 must-do steps to retire sooner and smarter. It's a checklist that offers a quick, practical guide to retiring early. You'll find a link to it in the description. And I've also got a freebie Magi Calculator Excel template that I created for my podcast titled ACA Magi, How to Calculate and Manage It for Big Savings. This podcast goes over how to not only calculate Magi if you're planning on going on an Affordable Care Act plan, but even more importantly, strategies to manage it so that you can pay less for premiums and even potentially get cost-sharing reductions as well. You'll find links to these tools in the description or show notes. And when you're not on the go, catch the Early Retirement Roadmap YouTube channel and go to mikeupland.com for all of my media and resources in one place. Until next time, take care and make the most of today.